Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Six for Six. Ladies and gentlemen, gotta prep the lights. We are back in business. It's been over a month since the last time we have recorded a glorious episode here on Six for Six. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, it's quite a while. I looked at the timeline. It's like, woof, it's been over a month. We missed majority of March Madness, but if you look in the video description and the description for this episode, we're going to talk a little bit about March Madness. Yes, I did talk about returning of No BS, which I am with my co-host Isaiah Leung, which is a great show where we talk about different sports. It does talk about some games that may be featured here on Six for Six. So if I do make predictions off of there, I'm going to kind of stick with those there. Won't go too much in detail because you can go and watch No BS as we break down those discussions. So the top four games for this week have been discussed on No BS this past week, season 4 of that. So go tune into that episode to see that. For those, I'm just going to go through those picks real quick, and then we'll be on and out. Relatively short program tonight since we've lumped some of those games in No BS. No sense to do redundance in that, talking. But without further ado, let's do a quick recap. Last episode, yes, volume 15. Well, not volume 15. Episode 15 of season 3 here on No BS. Our record was 3-3. Not too shabby what we expected here on the show. Always going 500. So that improves our overall record for 2024 as 17-18. Yes, we're kind of slacking in this department with our wins and losses, but we're just getting busy, getting hit with other things, and schedule is just tough right now, but we're going to make do with it. We're going to make the best out of it. But that improves overall record for season 3, 43, 37 and 2. So we're looking great right now in season 3. Hopefully we finish out strong in the year with all the remaining sport events coming up with the NBA playoffs, Stanley Cup playoffs, MLB rolling through, and then we reach football season again, and then we wrap up season 3 right around bowl season for college football. We take the rest of the December off, and then we kind of start right after the new year around January, 3rd or 4th, depending how the holiday falls and all that stuff. So that just depends how that is. It's normally like the second week back in January where we get the ball rolling back on 6 for 6. Without further ado, let's get through tonight's program, get you on out of here. It's a little bit late than what we like to do, but I was contemplating either have it tonight or Friday right after work, but I know the women's matchup for Final Fours happens Friday. I want to get this episode out so I can easily upload to Spotify before tip-off so people want, last minute tips on who they should pick for the money line and stuff like that. But without further ado, let's get the show on the road. First up, ladies and gentlemen, we got some MLB Dodgers Cubs, a classic matchup right there. April 6th, 4:05 p.m. Eastern Time, 1:05 p.m. Pacific Time on FS1. Ladies and gentlemen, looking at the percent chance of victory, it's the Dodgers with the 51, almost 52% victory over the Cubs. I like this as well, even though the Chicago Cubs are 3-0 at home. But you look at the Dodgers record right now, they're 7-2 compared to the Cubs 4-2. Dodgers have played more games, but they just have Ohtani up at bat. I'm like, not at bat, but at pitching, definitely going to be a very interesting stuff. But they also have Mookie Betts on top of that for the Dodgers. So Dodgers are normally a loaded squad, got the money just like the Yankees. So it wouldn't be surprising. But if you look at the last, 5-game stretch, they're both clubs are in a winning streak. But I'm going to give the Dodgers the benefit of a doubt right now. So we'll see how that goes. But yes, you can catch Dodgers Cubs April 6th, 4:05 p.m. Eastern Time, 1:05 p.m. Pacific Time on FS1. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, we got some NBA basketball, ladies and gentlemen. We got Knicks Bucks Sunday, April 7th, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Time on NBA TV. Yes, we got the Bucks Knicks going out in Milwaukee. Definitely going to be interesting. The Knicks have turned it up this season, ladies and gentlemen. 44 wins right now and 31 losses on the road. They're 20-17 with their away stand. And then at home, the Milwaukee Bucks are 29-9 with an overall record of 47-29 losses. So as you can see, the Bucks have been dominant this year, looking great, solid into the post, getting ready for the postseason. So getting these dubs are very critical for seeding for these ball clubs. But I got to give the benefit of the doubt with the Bucks. I think they're setting up a very presidential run where it's just like they can't be beat right now. They're looking great in their driver's seat of the East, but the Boston Celtics are going to be their kryptonite, or how they get, dealt with the play-in tournament from the lower seeds. Definitely going to be very critical for the Bucks, but taking care of the Knicks will help them in the step direction, getting a better seeding, depending how that play-in tournament goes. But I had the Bucks winning it. You can catch Knicks Bucks Sunday, April 7th, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Time on NBA TV. Now we're going to get into March Madness, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, I've talked about these games, the top 4 games, into the respective slots. So it's not going to take us too long. I'm just going to give you our picks, and we'll be on out of here. Like I said, very short program tonight. Easy in, easy out. That's how we like to do it here. Nothing too long. I know my other episodes are normally like 20 minutes, close to 30, half hour for a one-person show, and giving like each, pick, 4 or 5 minutes to talk about. Like I said, it's going to be a relatively quick show. So if you're looking at March Madness, we got the men's side of the bracket. I broke it up how the game of ranking of interest, how we see it. So we got Alabama and UConn men's college basketball Final Four, April 6th, 8:49 p.m. Eastern Time, 5:49 p.m. Pacific Time on TBS. And I have UConn win. It's just the traditional powerhouse of UConn basketball. I don't think you can just bet against UConn in that scenario. It's just like UConn Final Four. Looking at them in the past, they're just a team you can rely on in the Final Four. So we're going to give it to UConn in this one, even though Alabama has a historical run this year. Very impressive that this ball club is put together, but I don't think they have what it takes to defeat UConn. So UConn will pull up the dub on this one. You can catch Alabama, UConn's men, college basketball, April 6th, 8:49 p.m. Eastern Time, 5:49 p.m. Pacific Time on TBS. Next up, we got women's college basketball, NC State, South Carolina. Women's college basketball, Friday, April 5th, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Time. I believe it's on ESPN because I forgot to put that. That would help. But yes, you can catch that on ESPN. Ladies and gentlemen, South Carolina's having a historical run. Undefeated season right now. 36-0 NC State women trying to make a presidential run, going after South Carolina, spoiling their perfect season. But it's going to be tough because they also know that the NC State men have a tall task at hand. NC State is, I would say, America's team right now. The underdogs that they are have to overcome adversity to win and to surpass this. But, ladies and gentlemen, I got to go with my bracket, and I have South Carolina winning this one. So, without further ado, we have NC State, South Carolina, women's college basketball, April 5th, 5 p.m. East, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Time on ESPN and ESPN+. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, game number 2 of the week. UConn, Iowa, women's college basketball, Final Four, April 5th, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Time, ESPN and on ESPN+. Great matchup. Caitlin Clark making her historical run, her revenge tour for the national title. Looking great so far. And I have Iowa winning it, even though it's going to be a very close one. Let me check my bracket to make sure I do have Iowa winning it before I'm switching and y'all saying that, you didn't pick the right team. But I want to make sure I have that bracket as to the T of how I want it to be. So we're taking a quick peek at my bracket now, ladies and gentlemen. So within my bracket for the women's, so we have our final matchup, I believe, is still to be determined. But if I go back, I have Iowa and South Carolina both winning their matchups respectively. So definitely very good seeding for both of our matchups in this scenario. So you can catch UConn women versus Iowa women's college basketball, April 5th, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Time on ESPN and on ESPN+. And I have Iowa winning it. Last but not least, game of the week, ladies and gentlemen. NC State men versus Purdue men college basketball, April 6th, 6:09 p.m. Eastern Time, 3:09 p.m. Pacific Time on TBS. Guys, this is the matchup of the week. I don't know how you want to put it. DJ Burns Jr. going against Zach Edey. Clash of the Titans in the post. You can't get two more big men going at it in this environment. This is a game that probably can help them define who wins the national championship. With Zach Edey going at it, being eliminated in the first round last year, and now they're back at it with the Final Four appearance with a possible chance of reaching a national title. NC State underdog, 11 seed in the tournament. No one believed in them, but they have a dog in this race, and I believe that it's going to be a thrilling one. But within our bracket, I have Purdue winning in one of them. So without further ado, I have Purdue winning this matchup. NC State, Purdue, you can catch it for April 6th, 6:09 p.m. Eastern Time, 3:09 Pacific Time on TBS. Let's do a quick recap, and we'll get you on out of here so you can enjoy your Thursday night. So, sixth game, we have Dodgers Cubs, April 6th, 4:05 p.m. Eastern Time, 1:05 p.m. Pacific Time on FS1, and I have the Dodgers winning it. Next up, we have Knicks Bucks, Sunday, April 7th, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Time on NBA TV, and I have the Bucks winning it. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, we have Alabama, UConn's men's college basketball Final Four, April 6th, 6:49 p.m. Eastern Time, 5:49 p.m. Pacific Time on TBS, and I have UConn's men winning it. Next up, women's college basketball Final Four for one of the first games, NC State, South Carolina, April 5th, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, 4 p.m. Pacific Time on ESPN and on ESPN Plus, and we have South Carolina winning this one, ladies and gentlemen. Next up, we have UConn women, Iowa women, women's college basketball Final Four, April 5th, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Time on ESPN and ESPN Plus, and I have Iowa winning it. And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, NC State, Purdue men's college basketball Final Four, April 6th, 6:09 p.m. Eastern Time, 3:09 p.m. Pacific Time on TBS, and I have Purdue winning it. Let's go over our record. So far, we're 17-18. Very good record so far. Again, trying to crack over 500 with our wins and losses. Doing really good in our picks. Hopefully, we get a nice 6-for-6 run right here. We're doing very fantastic in this season. Last episode, we were 3-3. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, our overall record for season 3 right now is 43, 37, and 2. Thank you so much for watching another great episode 6-for-6. Like I said, you can catch me on No BS on the IM6 network, formerly known as MI6 to some extent as a branch off, but you can catch me on Isaiah talking about sports and what we love and our glorious Power 5. And that's on Tuesdays, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Time on our YouTube channel on the MI6 Sports Network, as well as our Facebook page on the MI6 Sports Network on Facebook. So definitely tune into those shows if you want to get more of me and Isaiah, as well as, get some teaser action for what could be a possible games on 6-for-6. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you all next time on 6-for-6. So long for now. Bye-bye.